Selling Sunset star Nicole revealed how former co-star Quinn is doing following her tumultuous split from her estranged husband Christian Richard. "I've been talking to her pretty much almost daily," Young explained to a news outlet on Tuesday, April 9th. "She's a very strong woman. She's definitely going through some things, but she's holding it together and I give her a lot of kudos." As OK previously reported, Richard was arrested on domestic violence charges in March after he allegedly flew into a rage and threw objects at Quinn and their child. "He narrowly missed hitting me with one of the metal rods, but I was struck by one of the boxes he threw," her legal filing stated. "He then opened a can of Red Bull and threw that across the room as well, making more of a mess, and returned a short time later and threw dog feces at me, which he pulled out of the trash." Quinn claimed she was terrified and did not contact authorities at that moment because she was worried her husband could seriously injure or kill her before the police were able to get through the gate. The real estate professional also accused Richard of faking a suicide attempt as a twisted test of her love for him while they were traveling together in Hungary. "That night in our hotel room, I watched Richard pour handfuls of pills and appear to shove them into his mouth, pills flying out of his hands and spilling on the floor, and then tell me he was dying." Quinn stated she had no idea how to call for emergency services in the country and alleged Richard asked her to stay with him. After what felt like an hour of Richard apparently falling in and out of consciousness and me being terrified, he suddenly appeared sober again and said, "You passed the test, you really do love me," she continued. "When I realized that he had faked the whole thing, I became very afraid of Richard and what else he could potentially do." 2 weeks after Richard's arrest, Quinn was granted a temporary restraining order that bars her ex from coming within 100 yards of her, their son, their dogs, and their LA home. Young spoke to E! News at the Bella Insiders Party.